Green flag, Utes, race 2, ready to go. It's McNally and Pretty on the front row. Pretty won this race 2 last year, but McNally won the round here last year, so one to watch out for as it's go time. Kim Jane with a good start. We didn't talk about him pre-race. He's one to watch out for as well. A flurry of Holdens into the first corner, but McNally with the best start. Dontas forces his way into second position. Harris runs a little bit wide. He had Marjoram just to the inside of him as we go running up Mountain Straight. We ride on board with Craig Dontas at a fast part of the racetrack.
Nathan Pretty on the inside. He will have the line down here into turn 2. But have a look at McNally. Got a great start. Dontas on the outside. He's going to have to try and slot in behind Nathan if he can, but they go too wide through turn 2, and they're still too wide. Actually, this is really well played because Dontas will now have the inside for the cutting and gets through.
It's tight at the cutting. We swap some paint. We lock some tyres. And Dontas prevails. And now Pretty has Mediki to think about. Look at this. You can't go side by side through Reed Park. That's just not going to work. Oh, they managed to make it stick.
They still are. Look at this. What a great shot.
Oh. Great racing. That is seriously good car control to go side by side through there and not tear stuff up.
Once Dontas went around the outside of Nathan at turn 2 and hung in there, Nathan was then on the outside for the cutting. He was on a hide into nothing. He just couldn't get back in and lost momentum. And Medeki swamped, and now he's got Kim Jane right behind.
Through the dipper we dive. On board with Cam Wilson. He's got his Peters Motorsport teammate ahead of him. Mason Barbera with the big Sinopec red tailgate. He's got his lights on, he means business. Oh, bit of a slow shift, that one.
That's the risk when you're flat changing and going across the gate. So second to third, if you just miss that third slot a little bit and beat the synchro, that will pop out of gear. So it's a fast gear change when you do flat change, but risky going second to third anyway.
McNally the leader, down towards the chase. And Dontas is the man who's next in line to try and catch him. Noel Edge running a little bit wide there through the chase as well, but kept it steady. First of 7 complete. Oh, Harris with a late move to the inside of Marjoram. First and second in the championship, and that was just a plain good move. Wow. Oh, and it's on for position here. Pretty and Mediki make contact.
The switchback, Nathan was just right under the rear bumper of George Medeki. Didn't quite time it, just tagged him. And this is the battle back in the pack a little bit for 8th and 9th in the race, but first and second in this championship this year. So about 50 points coming into race 1. That's probably blown out closer to 60 now. 60 or even closer to 70. Look at this.
Tight racing the whole way through that pack. Mediki hangs on to third. Pretty wants it off him. Kim Jane, you talk about family history at this track. His uncle Bob, very successful here in his time. Actually, Kim has had his fair share of success at this track as well.
And Reece McNally's doing exactly what you have to do in a ute race. If you get on the front row and you get a good start, put your head down and go for that first 2 laps. Let the rest of them fight it out and hopefully slow each other up by dicing back in the pack. And he's cleared out to nearly a 1 second lead out in front. So working well for him. Dontas, Medeki, second and third. Here's a replay of that start. Great launch by Reece McNally.
Walton was a little bit slow, but he's managed to hang on to his good starting position inside the top 10. On board with Lee Nicolau. If there's no gap, make one. That's tight.
3 wide.
That's tight. He pulled out of that one. And this is that moment between Mediki and Pretty. Oof.
Nathan, I reckon he gave him a little bit of a rub there just to say, hey, stop wandering all over the road. It was a fairly aggressive move to the left to cover the line by George. Nathan just gave him a little one on the way back.
That's fighting fire with fire.
It is, and in ute circles, that's really not much, is it? We've seen a lot harsher than that. Great racing in this category. Has been for a long time now. Very successful formula. Of course, the last few years we've seen the evolution of the new Ford into the category.
The way they finish this race is the way that they'll start the final race on race day morning tomorrow. And that being Australia's biggest day of motorsport is probably a race that you'd want to start from pole.
Absolutely. That Sunday morning race at Bathurst, when you've got up to 80,000 people here, they're always in here by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, and just racing on, it's like racing on grand final day, really. And there's no doubt going to be a fight for the front row between Madecki, Roll Harris. Actually, Kim Walton, just going on the current points, will start out of pole tomorrow. He's our, we're certainly leading the round on 184. 2 points ahead of Roll Harris at the moment for the weekend for the round result.
They had that regs change to make it progressive now, which not a lot of the youth boys are all that happy with. And is that raindrops? It is. We've got rain. Well, we've also got Mason Barbera forcing his way through up at the cutting, and up go the brollies, on go the ponchos. And here come the field to the mountain once again, and you just don't know how wet it's going to be up here. Oh, Pretty gets close to the wall. The Fujitsu signage remains unscratched.
So unlike the Dunlop Series race where we saw some drizzle midway through, the V8 Supercars, of course, on a full slick tyre. The Utes run on a groove tyre in wet or dry conditions, so it won't affect them as much, but certainly if we get a little bit of drizzle, it'll cool the tyre temperature down. As we can see, a bit of drizzle on the screen there.
So close racing and a couple of raindrops. Our leader at the moment, Reece McNally, but a long way to go. The Utes here racing at Bathurst. The Utes at Bathurst. We've got Kim Jane pulling into the pits just in the background, but the lead pack still going at it here. McNally is still leading the way. 3 to go. Sprinkles, showers. And Craig Donders in particular has been quite loose, but he's not been the only one. Now, someone into the wall here is Jeremy Gray. Oh, yeah, that'll do it.
Side on impact too, so maybe have a little bit of left front suspension damage. And look at this one, Dontas.
Oh,
just tagged the wall with the right rear quarter. This is what we're very familiar and very used to seeing. Giving him a bit of a wave there, Richard Mork.
Kurt Kostecki, just 17 years of age. Slight disparity in age between those two.
Yeah. Richard Mork has been around for a while.
Here we go. Nathan Pretty and Miedeke here. And that thing of Miedeke's is looking a little bit more creased than it was earlier in that right rear panel. I wonder if these two have had a bit of a touch-up once again. I know that they got together down the front straight earlier. This is going to give Craig Donders a chance to have a bit of a breather, because Miedeke was putting the pressure on in the ICQ. We've got the IC owner Jason Gomersol racing in Touring Car Masters here this weekend. Unfortunately had a nasty crash, and the Mattstone Racing team from the Utes was all hands on deck getting that Tirana fixed overnight. Here is Kim Jane for Erebus in the pits. This amazing effort that Betty Clemenco has put in from all the way down from the V8s down to the Utes.
That's a shame. Very rare to see some sort of mechanical or engine issue in one of these cars. So that's put Kim Jane out of this one, which means he'll start right at the very back at a P27 tomorrow. So this could be where this bit of contact was. So Nathan Pretty up the inside. There it was. So George had to turn in at some point, but had to give enough racing room. Probably not quite enough, but just a little bit of rubbing there. If he was out too wide, so easy to get on the marbles and head out towards that outside wall. Nathan looks very racy here. He's having a look up the inside. Is he far enough up, though? Not quite.
Oh.
Madecki closes the door again. Nathan's going to try and hang in on the outside. And this should give him the line coming down.
Oh, he's not going to lose one spot here. He's going to lose two.
Look at Walton behind him.
We know he's aggressive. And they made contact in the last race. But praise be to Walton, because he managed to just run next to him without touching him. Good racing room between the two of them, but yes, Miedeke will lose 2 spots. They give each other room at the exit of 1 as well, and that means convinced that Mediki might be able to run up the hill here and have the inside at turn 2. This is going to be brought back a lap here, so final lap right now. Oh no, Cedars is going slowly. Third in the championship has a problem. And this is going to put Walton inside the top 3. Here we go over the top and down towards turn 2. Mediki hangs tough on the inside and hangs on to 4th spot. Walton had a super aggressive move at slick at Forest Elbow in race 1 on the last lap.
That's his spot, isn't it? That's where he really looks. So if you were George Madecki, you wouldn't even be giving him the slightest possible window of opportunity there. You'd come round into Forest Elbow and drive straight down the inside, block that line, because any little hole and Chris Walton will go down and fill it, the reigning champion. Great drive by Reece McNally, just cleared out in front. Craig Dontis back just a little bit. Nathan Preddy's actually closed right up on Dontis at the top of the screen there. And looks like it's drizzling a little harder at the top of the mountain as well.
Half a lap for Dontis to hang on to second. It'll be his best result here. And on top of that, a front row start for tomorrow is looming. He doesn't have the confidence in his car across the top, and they're all stacking up behind him. Can Pretty get the job done at Forest Elbow? Mediki is defensive as you'd want to be. I think he's listening to you.
He blocked the inside line. That was the spot. You just do not want to give Chris Walton the sniff there, and unfortunately, it's all over.
After 4 podiums here in the past, he was looking for his 5th. It's not going to happen. Tell you what, McNally's in for a win here. And everyone behind him is battling away. Now, Nathan Pretty has 2 more spots to get the job done, and here comes the first one. The end of Conrod. Under brakes, he's managed to make his way inside that very small gap, and they're going to argue about it. And Dontis manages to hang on. Pretty with a bad exit, goes to the back of the pack.
I wonder whether Nathan missed a gear or something on the exit there. It's a 2nd to 3rd gear change, but he's been shuffled 3 spots. And Madecki gets back up to 3rd.
It's tight between Mediki and Walton, but Mediki just gets there for 3rd. Amidst all of this, McNally has won the race. He won 2 here last year, and he's won the reverse grid race this year. I think that striking pink livery might be something of a keeper. He missed the last round at Sandown. That car had a total rebuild since his crash at Townsville, and that man just earned himself a front row start for tomorrow. Meanwhile, we've got Mork fighting away here with Graham Edwards. Edwards will try the old over-under. Mork's wise to that one. It's not his first rodeo. And he gets across the line for 19th, albeit with a little bit of damage to Graham Edwards. That was exciting. It's bad news for David Cedars, though, because it'll be a DNF for him. The top 10 looks like this. Reece McNally gets the win. Dontis 2nd. Front row looms for him tomorrow. Pretty wraps up that top 5. Marjoram inside the top 10, with Jeremy Gray wrapping up that top 10.